Well, I am a couple minutes late to the chat tonight, and I think there's a fairly good reason behind it. I was, cooking something up in the kitchen tonight. That's it. That's the only reason why I'm just a couple minutes late to the stream. And also because I go off of my computer's time, 7:55, and not like the actual time. So like I'm actually like 15 minutes late, even though according to my computer I'm only like 6 or 7 minutes late, which isn't as big of a deal as 15 minutes. But yeah, I made myself a nice big milkshake. Yeah, that's all we got tonight. Now, I don't have anything in my notes for certain discussion tonight, and if no one pops in over the course of the next 10 minutes, I'm just going to end chat because I am extremely tired right now. I have, I've had a lot of things to do with school recently, and it is just not fun anymore. I don't think it was ever fun to begin with, to be completely honest. So, yeah. I'm hoping that someone pops in. Not certain, though. That is something that I need to keep an eye on. So, yeah. And also, just want to make a quick announcement. I can't really do chicken chats for a little while now, mainly because of the fact that they're not in a good Wi-Fi zone anymore, so I can't really get any, Wi-Fi in the chicken yard, which kind of sucks, so I can't really do those chats anymore. Which can and will end up meaning that, yeah, we have to keep holding back on doing the live chicken chats for at least a couple of weeks until they move to a more either A, reasonable zone, or B, just a different zone altogether that will make sure the Wi-Fi is connected. Although I can't make any promises for certain, we can always hope for the best that those chickens, that I could finally get the chickens into a bigger yard that will actually have good internet connection, and I can start doing these live chicken chats again, hopefully in a couple of weeks. I just figured I'd say that real quick before we get into the chat. Yeah, just I don't know. I'm like really tired, so just want to say so I just wanted to say that, and then after that, yeah, if you guys didn't hear, the forums have officially opened up for the chicken pumpkin carving challenge. I don't know if you guys have seen that before on my community tab where I announced that yeah, we're doing the chicken pumpkin carving contest, and I don't know quite yet how many responses I've gotten, which is none, but hopefully that number will increase. I'm hoping to get at least 2 responses for this one because I've never hosted a competition and never gotten any submissions. Probably because I've only hosted one competition before and didn't really, advertise it as well as I really should have. So that definitely put a damper on the amount of people that participated in the Thanksgiving Day Challenge of 2022. Truly, my biggest failure. Actually, my biggest failure was probably posting those shorts I posted back in November and December. But that's it. Those are like the only big failures I've had recently. A little while ago, yeah, that's completely different. So yeah, just figured I'd say that yeah, this is the first challenge on the channel I've ever really taken seriously. So how's the weather doing where you're at right now? Right now, where I'm posted up, it's about I don't know, around 60, 50 degrees right now. Let's actually check it. I don't know for a fact, but it's definitely at a reasonable temperature right now. For me, it's 59. It feels a little bit warmer than that, though, because it's going to be 80 on Thursday. I mean, not Thursday. Saturday. And then the temperature's going to cool down. We're supposed to get some snow on the night of Halloween, which could possibly mean bad things because, it's like November and we're already getting snow here. Yay. I mean, it would be cool if it was a lot more snow, but, well, I mean, like a quarter of an inch of snow is still a quarter of an inch of snow, man. I'm not complaining. I don't know if any of you guys have yet seen your first snow yet, because I've heard some portions of the country have gotten a pretty good and sizable amount of snow over the course of the last couple weeks. I know for a fact we haven't gotten anything. It's just been chilly and like nothing else. And yeah, that's pretty much what's all been going on my side of the woods. The chickens have been just fine. Nothing's really happened other than the introduction and then the fact that the chicken just straight up vanished back into the farm flock because they're up to 24 as the most recent analysis. But I haven't really seen any signs of that sort of thing. I don't know. I don't think I discussed it because that was Monday night, right after I hopped off of the chicken chat, that I found out about the quote unquote attack that unfolded in the farm flock, which wasn't really an attack. It was them deciding they're going to be idiots and to not find their yard. Hang on, I'm going to take a sip of my nice milkshake real quick. Gotta admit, though, those milkshakes do taste real good, though. Definitely worth the 10 minutes I put in trying to make sure it's actually right. Especially if I'm doing a stream and, you know, want to make sure the caffeine keeps me awake. Probably going to crash right after the stream, to be completely honest. That's what's going on over here. So, yeah, no one else pops in over the course of the next couple minutes. I'm probably just going to go to sleep. I don't know. Yeah, it's just been a rough couple weeks around here. There's just been nothing that's happening. There's not a lot of things that's, like, crazy and all that whatnot that's been going on around here. I don't know about you guys, but for me, nothing too spectacular has happened. So yeah, nothing really bad has been happening over the course of the last couple weeks, but for me personally, unless you count having to take extremely difficult tests as a bad thing, then yeah, nothing too serious has happened over the course of the last couple weeks. I had to do a lot of homework today, so that's why I'm streaming. Also, that's also impacting the time I had dinner, the time I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make myself a milkshake right before I hop on stream. That sort of impacted it, and then I sort of just lost track of time. Mainly due to the fact that, yeah, you get a lot of homework when you're older, which is unfortunately probably one of the worst parts about getting older, is the fact that you have more responsibility. And unfortunately, some things do require more responsibility than others, which does include getting all your work done, unfortunately. I do not enjoy it one bit, but I kind of have to do it. So yeah, other than that, that's all that's been going on. Oh, yay, the dogs are barking yet again. Some of those doofuses love doing all day. And another thing that my dogs did earlier today was I left, I don't know, I don't think I left anything on my desk, but I left a bottle of water. Not really a bottle of water, like a can of water on my desk. Because I was going to go back in a couple minutes and I was going to have a nice sip of water. I needed to step outside and check on the chickens for a quick couple minutes. And I step outside, and by the time I'm back in, my computer's off and there's a massive puddle of water on the floor. Take a wild guess what happened. My dog spilled that water bottle all over the computer, all over the ground. I had to unplug everything for like 20 minutes, but that just added to the more hectic activity of the day. So, yeah, other than that, nothing too spectacular so far today. I mean, if my computer was completely destroyed, I'd somehow have to make an announcement, because right now my phone is dead and it's charging in the background, and I don't really want to disturb its nice resting. Another funny thing I saw earlier today, which just added to this day's weird atmosphere, was the I don't know if you guys saw that screenshot I posted on my community tab, where I posted like how like the down arrow that you typically see if your video performs more under than usual was actually a green up arrow slanted downward, which made it look like it did well, but in actuality it performed horribly. And also the ranges have also been significantly impacted. It's just an issue that's going on. I can't tell you what's actually happening. I am absolutely no expert in this sort of stuff. I know only the base level of software coding, so I can't give you the answer. So it's kind of a funny glitch, kind of a funny interface glitch, if I don't say so myself. I've seen much worse. I have seen way worse interface glitches than the up arrow being slanted down and making it look like your video performed better, just in like sort of a upside down way, if you will. That's it. That's the only thing. And then of course there's the snow coming in. I discussed this a little bit earlier. The snow's coming in next week, and hopefully this time it will actually come in instead of being like a horrible experience like last year we had. Whenever it snowed, and last year we had this weird pattern with snow where like it would snow and then the weather radar would say it's clear, but then when you look outside it's cloudy and it's flurrying, and the radar didn't show anything for hundreds of miles. This happened once in that one pop-up February storm. It was supposed to be cloudy conditions with about a 6% chance of snow. We started out the day with special weather statement saying some spotty snow flurries, and then bam, ended the day with like 2.5 inches of snow. And then the snow continued until midnight, even though they said the snow passed hours before then. I don't know if you've noticed that. And then it happened again sometime earlier that year. Yeah, it happened a lot when we had like random pop-up snowstorms in like January, where nothing was showing up, but it was snowing. Not really crazily. It was just like snowing, nothing too spectacular, and it would keep snowing for like an hour or two before the snow would finally shut down, and we got absolutely nothing last winter that was actually really that spectacular. Like, yeah, there was a lot of just bust snowstorms that are like, oh, we're going to see 19 inches of snow next week. And then, oh, wait, that's just 2 inches of rain. And for some reason, everyone is saying this year we're going to be in the battleground of the snowstorm. So I might actually release a video soon, probably in like November, detailing what we're doing this winter in case the wintry battleground ensues. Which they're saying has a good possibility this year. The one thing I want is just a small little snowstorm. It's enough snow that it like makes like travel a little bit harder, but not like impossible. But something that like allows for a little bit of rest and something that looks nice. Sometime in December. By the time you reach January, now we're talking about like midterm exams and stuff like that. So I take 3 feet of snow any day to get out of those things. Then by February, I'm kind of done with the winter. By March, if it's still snowing like consistently and we're getting a lot of snow by March, I'd be pretty done with it. By the end of March, we're typically like completely done. Last snow happens sometime in and around late March, going maybe into April. If it snows above like an inch in April, then you know this winter's crazy. Last time that happened was 2021. We got like 3 to 4 inches of snow in mid to late April, around Easter Sunday, a little bit after Easter Sunday that year. It was quite the crazy event, if I don't say so myself. Because that much snow in April is unheard of. And then in 2020, we had like nothing that winter. Like, it was the most underwhelming piece of garbage winter I think I've ever witnessed. And like, we were seeing no snow. Like, we saw in like we had this November snowstorm. It was like the most. I don't know if you guys have had that snow before. If you guys experienced snow, yeah, we're talking a little bit about snow right now. It was like snow flurried while we were in school for 6.5 hours, and nothing stuck. But the little bit of snow that did stick to the stone walls made it so slippery. And then a couple weeks later, we got our first like really big snowstorm on December 1st, going into December 2nd, with snow accumulations measuring at around 9 inches. Then exactly 8 days later, the next week, we didn't have school again. Do you want to know why? Surprise, surprise. We got a rainstorm that transitioned into like 4 inches of snow. Then the next week, we had a pretty severe ice storm. And then January, we had one single snowstorm. February was our least snowiest February on record. March was like the most. March started out, and then we had the virus that shall not be named hit, and then St. Patrick's Day was really the start of this little spawn trend of snow. What's going on, Big Feathers Farm? Sorry I missed your message. I wasn't paying attention to the chat until I realized I was there. It's a little trend there. Started right after the virus that shall not be named ended up attaching to the unfortunate like tales of the year, and it ensued. And basically what ended up happening was we got some snow. We got just a little bit of snow St. Patrick's Day. We were supposed to get like a dusting of snow to wake up to that morning. It was about 1.5 inches. And then in April, we got that like 7-inch snowstorm, which was already just about as crazy as the December snowstorm. Then in May, we got about 2 inches of snow. And then in June, we had a frost. So 2020 was quite the year, if I don't say so myself. And in 2018, we actually had a November snowstorm. It was supposed to be mainly an ice storm. We were only supposed to get like 2 to 4 inches of snow, but we ended up with like maybe 8 inches of snow that morning and like no ice. It was a nice snowstorm. It was the only good snowstorm that year, because after that, all the snowstorms happened to like causing like most like happened to be like some of the worst like ice formations after that. We had some pretty serious storms that year. So hopefully this winter is not going to unfold or play out like that. By the looks of things, we will have a pretty big snowstorm 1 to 2 times this year. Which, please, happen sometime around January 15th. I am begging for the winter to actually bring snow. Not in December. Like, I'd be fine with like a little 6 or 7 inches in December to get me into the Christmas holiday spirit and all that whatnot. But by the time we reach January, I'm fine with a little 3 feet of snow if that's what it takes to not have to take exams. I mean, gives me an extra day to study. What do you mean? I'll take it. Either way, though, in all seriousness, though, yeah, I'll probably release a video preparing for the winter. I already finished up the fall cleanup series, and hopefully I have a video maybe dropping right after the stream is done on my vlogs channel about the Northern Lights, how to see it. It's a little like 3-minute tutorial, very simple video. I didn't upload on that last week because I was pretty tired. And then right after the stream is over, hopefully on this channel, a brand new video will drop. A brand new series will actually drop tonight, detailing like everything you need to know on chickens. It's gonna be like a multi-video series, and it's gonna go every Thursday for many years. So it's gonna be a big series, probably with tens, if not even hundreds, of additions to it every single Thursday. By the time we reach next year, this will probably still be continuing. I just want to say with that series, I say it at the end of the video, but I know not everyone makes it to the end because, you know, not everyone has that sort of time to watch like a 5 or 6 minute video, which I'm fine with. If you just watch the first 30 seconds, it still does something. I will say, though, I did say right at the end of the video, that's coming up soon, I did say that in December I'm not going to do it because, you know, I'm doing a little cool series also starting in December this year. It'll involve 13 videos. All of which will be comprised of probably some of my best videos, specifically the one on December 23rd. I have all those videos already planned, and they're already in the production phase, which is how big they are. And I cannot wait to post them. That is one thing I cannot wait to do. So I just figured I'd talk about that now. Actually, on to discussing things. We're discussing chickens tonight. Of course we are. This is a question I asked on the Chicken Chat Monday, but I wanted to continue it over to here. What is a food? Alright, I'm going to pretend like I did not make that spelling error there. What is a food that you would never feed to chickens? What is that type of food that you would absolutely never feed to your chickens? For me personally, it's got to be those like weird flowers. I don't know what they are. Or I believe the plant is nettle. I don't know for real. But like I was like sitting where the playscape once. I was swinging on the swings, and I happened to see this weird weed right in front of me, and I touched it just a little bit, and immediately someone's poking me. And I look down, and my hand just becomes an itchy like mess, and it was just not fun. I think they're called nettle. I am not sure though. It's just really uncomfortable. Although I will say the chickens will probably eat it. Yep, I assume so. The uncooked potatoes and avocados, yeah. Those are something I can understand. Another thing I can't get behind is feeding them you know how like with green beans, like we don't really want to eat like the hardened green beans, the ones that are fresh out of the garden before you put it through the pot. You don't want to feed those to your chickens either. They're a little bit too hard on them, if you will. So make sure that your chickens are getting like more cooked green beans, and there's a lot of other garden plants that they can't really have. And if you're going to feed them tomatoes, make sure that to feed them, they don't have to be like the healthiest tomatoes ever. As long as they don't have mold on them, they can have it. Like I typically give them some bruised tomato that like fell off during like a windstorm, hit the ground a little bit too hard, maybe got a little split on it because of the fruit flies. Those are the types of tomatoes that are fine to feed to your chickens. The ones that aren't fine are the ones that start developing mold because of how heavy the rain happened to be this summer. Cucumbers also died out pretty early on. And also, I have some pretty exciting news about the fall garden I planted, I believe, last Thursday. We finally, guess what? Guess what happened? We got some seedlings to come up. Yep, the seedlings are coming up now. I'd say just about 95% of the plants I planted are coming up. The only cucumbers and green beans, that is, and peas. The only ones that aren't coming up yet are the Romas. I'll just give them another short period of time before I attempt to replant things, and expect yet another fall gardening video, probably tomorrow or Saturday. If, of course, I don't happen to be sick, that is, which right now that might be a looming possibility, but I will fight through it and still get in that fall garden because I love gardening and it's something that I'm in an illness can prevent. So yeah, I just figured I'd point that out that yeah, we're starting to get some cool things starting to come in with the fall garden. Now, next question I want to ask in the stream. So, what is your favorite plant? Now, if you know me, you can also quote I said back in, when was it? August something, 2022. Don't remember the exact date. I say August 28th as sort of a filler date. It was probably way before that. Now, if you don't know, that was the gourd plants. I said they're funny shaped pumpkins, so it spawned in probably just about the greatest thing that's ever came out of this channel was that quote, gourds are funny shaped pumpkins. Which is actually pretty funny if you understand the terminology on gourds a little bit. They're pretty funny shaped pumpkins. So, yeah, I planted those this year. The gourds came up. Those are my favorite plants. They're very exciting to watch. They're not too demanding, actually. You don't need a whole separate irrigation system. As long as you give them water or the rain provides them with the water, they'll bloom. They're very low maintenance plants. The harvesting makes a whole video in and of itself because they're almost all ready for harvesting at the same time. So does go for the other types of squash plants that you could possibly find out in the garden. Like summer squash, pumpkins, and probably a lot of other types of squash you could probably find out in the garden are probably my personal favorite, at least. So basically, the entire squash family is probably my personal favorite type of plants that you could find out in the garden. For me personally, I don't know about you guys. So what is that favorite plant you could find out in a garden? This doesn't have to be one specific for your garden, but for me personally, I chose one that is specific to my garden. So what is that one plant that you really you want to put in your garden? Even if you don't grow a garden yet, what is that one plant that you really wish you could grow? Or already are growing and you're having a really great experience with it. So yes, squash for me, and also maybe some other plants that you could find there. Tomatoes are basically the ones that come up the most. Corn, and let's see what else. Peppers, and eggplants, cucumbers, sunflowers. Those are the ones we typically grow, and they're all pretty good plants. It's just some of them have better germination rates than others may have. So that is one thing to keep in mind, is that the likelihood of a plant coming up completely depends on the quality of the seed. You have a much higher chance of having sort of much higher chance of having I really I don't know how to word it, a seedling that won't sprout, more likely than not in a plant that's more likely than not in some seeds that are really old, the seeds that just aren't really suit for that type of gardening and all that whatnot. So that is one thing to keep in mind, is that yes, the seeds that come up in the garden, not all of them are guaranteed to end up sprouting, unfortunately, and it's something that we have to keep in mind all the time. Now, here's the cool part about all this all this sort of stuff, is that gardening gardening really helps. I will say that. I completely forgot what I was just gonna say, so I just put in some filler words there. So, crap! What did I just close out of? I swear I just closed out of something. All right, good. I didn't close out anything that would have a big impact here on the stream. So yeah, for whatever reason, we're getting pretty close to a million, the big million view milestone on this channel. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have hit 1 million views before, but I'm on the border. I'm at 929,198 right now. That is currently my big thing, and some of my shorts recently have been outperforming others, which is one thing I will say for fact that is definitely something that will help get to that 1 million view mark, which is my ultimate dream. And actually, my penultimate dream is 100,000 subscribers, but I'll know but I know that'll take a little bit more effort, which is the type of effort you'd see me putting in on like summer vacation or like winter vacation or the weekends. See, the reason why I love the weekends more often, the reason why I'm like always active on the weekends is because I have more energy on the weekends, because I can actually get the full 10 hours of sleep that I would usually get, because, you know, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning for school. It's not the most fun thing you have to do. If all goes to plan, I'll begin filming a day in the life tomorrow. Just figured I'd point out how close I am to a 1 million views. The final stretch, that 1 million view mark, begins right now. We're getting pretty close to it, with other videos outperforming others. I know I'm not that consistent with shorts recently. I am very sorry for that. Even if you're not a big fan of the shorts, I just figured I'd say sorry for not being that consistent, especially with times of uploads. The only reason I post this late is because this is the time where I have the most energy. Like, yeah, I just waste all my energy trying to get out of bed and first thing in the morning. Not like, but the time I'm later in the day, I've already replenished most of the energy, which is good. So that way I can actually create videos. If I'm not that energized by the end of the day, I just hop into bed, create a low effort short, call it a day, and then just go to bed at like 9. If I actually have a lot of energy, I'll go to bed at like 1:30. On the weekends, staying up till 2 is something I'll typically do. But over time, that'll probably be something I'll live to regret. It's something I am willing to hopefully improve on in the future. It is not staying up until 2 a.m. every day on the weekends, and then being shocked to find out that by Monday morning you're extremely exhausted. I mean, I'm probably not going to be that exhausted this Monday morning because Halloween is coming up, you know, like going out and trick-or-treating and all that whatnot. I'm not doing any of that stuff this year. I'm just going to have a nice bowl of candy while I sit down and edit a video. That is the one thing that I'm looking forward to the most. Well, of course, having the nice heat on in the background and the entire possibility of some snow. By the time we reach November 1st, the fateful day November 1st, because like literally every single like radio station and every single like store begins playing Christmas music, and if you want to get to know me real quick, I don't want to hear that stuff until after Thanksgiving. It's fine as long as it's after then. That's it. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. But past like November, I believe 23rd. Yeah, 23rd. That's when I'm fine with it existing, as long as it's not played heavily until like the week of like Christmas. That's fine. So that's just one thing I'm not looking forward to after Halloween. And then there's like tests that are coming up and all that whatnot that I am definitely not looking forward to. So yeah, it's quite the nuisance, if you will. Yeah, we then have the entirety of November for some pretty high effort videos and getting prepared for December, which will be the biggest month I think I'll ever have on this channel. I hope December is the best performing month I have, because some of those videos, man, they're going to be something different. And I hope you're excited for them, because I certainly am. I had them all jotted down in my notes. And by the way, I'm already starting to take down notes for my next duck documentary video, and I'm beginning to write up the script for it right now. Right now, I'm expecting it to be up to 16,000 words, so that might be a bigger video coming your way by November 11th, which will be a Saturday, of course, because, you know, video essay Saturdays are always a day I look forward to doing. This weekend, I might test my ability in making a gardening video essay, which I haven't quite yet done, because most of my video essays are, of course, based around chickens. The closest I've ever had to a gardening video essay was a video I did back in 2022, where I covered gardening, and the first portion of the video I was charging my camera, so I just talked on my microphone and overlaid some video game gameplay, and then I transitioned to the actual outdoors. That's sort of what I did for that one video back in July 2022, which, believe it or not, was over a year ago. And that's the closest I've ever done to a gardening video essay, so I want to try to experiment a little bit more nowadays and hopefully get some form of success off of it, because while shorts do bring you the short-term success, as I like to say, YouTube short-term success sometimes, because they're short videos and they like to bring short-term success, but then the long videos bring long-term success, is what I like to classify it as. Mainly because long videos have an entire realm of possibilities. Short videos will likely only blow up once, which is one thing I'd like you guys to keep in mind if you're creating shorts. So yeah, always remember that long videos, especially if you craft them the right way, do have the possibility of consistently getting like 1 to 3 views a day for a long time. Like my broody chickens video, it's just been chilling up in the hundreds for a long time now. Like it just died at 200, then all of a sudden got up to 670 over the course of about a year. Because if you don't know how that video works, it's like sort of like what a lot of people like to call a little evergreen content, where you pull the cool little card of this is something that can be useful for a certain time of the year. It's something that I like to use a lot. And it's sort of a little cheat code. And yeah, that's sort of why my chicken hurricanes videos up there, the gardening videos and the Buff Warpington videos, and a lot of the chicken videos do that. So that's something you can do pretty easily if you know at least a little bit about sort of like that sort of stuff. It's not like necessary that you have to do that, but it's something that I do personally for like at least 1 video a week. And make my videos 1% better every week is something that I want to keep doing until I can't really anymore. So yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one noticing this, but the time on this live stream keeps lagging behind. Like this just hit 31 minutes and it's already like 31:53 according to the timer in here. So I think it's just lagging behind for some odd reason. I can't really explain what's actually going on here, but that's it. That could be the annoyance of the. That could be quite an annoying time, especially if you go a little bit like under. So yeah, I'm probably only gonna keep the stream going until 45, so that way I can finish up any additional homework afterwards. So this is gonna be a shorter stream, unfortunately. If you expected a longer stream today, I can't really do that right now because I have schooling tomorrow. It's just not something I'm looking forward to. As I said earlier, back to talking about chickens. Of course, that's what we all need to talk about. Chickens, farming, ducks. Those are some of my personal favorite things to talk about. And see, if you're talking to me, just say, how are the chickens doing? And I can automatically start a 2-hour conversation about chickens. I'm hoping this weekend I have some more energy to do like bigger lives, and we could just do a whole 3-hour video just talking about our chickens. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh, that's a loud plane. I hope you can't hear it, but I can. It's loud. And I see it too. That is something you don't see every day. I don't know if you guys can hear it too. Tell me in the chat if you just heard that plane passing overhead. Quite loud, and they only do it every Thursday at around this time. So get used to hearing that at around the half-hour mark on all my Thursday night streams, because those planes typically like to go over the house at around that exact time. I don't know what they exactly are. I haven't really looked into it a lot. I don't really know, to be completely honest. I've seen them a lot around this time of year. Probably just test flights, probably. I can't really say for a fact, though. Although, as I was just saying, just talk to me about chickens, man. I could start a 2-hour conversation about chickens. That is for sure. I don't know how long a conversation about your chickens will last for, but just ask how are the chickens doing, and I'll just divert into a whole 2-hour, chat about, oh, this is how the chickens are doing, this is what they're doing right now, and all that whatnot. So yeah, we're getting close to the end of the stream. We're at, I believe, around 35 minutes. So, and plus, I'm pretty sure that a fellow channel stream is starting up right when I'm going to schedule the end for this stream. So, in about 13 minutes is probably when I'm gonna throw in the towel and say, yeah, this is not working out. My Thursday nights are really competitive. Like when I started doing these streams, they weren't that competitive, and now they are really, really competitive. So I'm gonna try to find a better time. Like I'm not gonna do Saturday, but I'm gonna do a Sunday stream this weekend. Hopefully, I can do a Sunday stream if all goes to plan, of course. And that will be starting up a brand new streaming series that I'll do every other Sunday for as long as I possibly can around here. I'm just getting right back into the swing of things, doing more lives. That's all I'm trying to do around here. So yeah, expect the brand new Trivia Tuesday to debut. Not really. I mean, Halloween is a Tuesday, so I don't really know that I can actually debut the Trivia Tuesday. But I'll try everything in my power to. And trust me, Here's one thing I'll keep doing. If I get sick, I'll just walk it off. I'll still, if I'm sick, then Trivia Tuesday will unfold. If I'm not sick, then Trivia Tuesday will likely be replaced with a separate live. That's one thing that you should expect, is that a stream sometime on Tuesday, as long as I don't have a crap load of homework, then we should be just fine. Do a nice little stream on Tuesday. So that's it. Alright, there's nothing else to really discuss about like upcoming things. Like, yeah, I said a lot about like upcoming videos for like the first like 20 minutes of the stream, and now I'll get right back into talking about chickens and ducks. So I don't know how many of you guys are planning on getting like chickens this spring. If all goes to plan and all the chickens survive this winter, no, we won't be getting more chickens this spring. If the Bobcat decides I'm gonna make the coolest entry possible, you know, with the cool little smoke machines and like the debut like music playing in the background, and it just comes back and saying it's not my time to shine now, I'm gonna take your chickens, then yeah, I expect some more chickens to arrive here in the spring. I need to watch the chickens this winter in hopes that they remain safe. And then the coyotes like to strike in the summer, especially if we're getting a more of a like wet summer, and they'll definitely come and try to get the chickens, since a lot of things want to get to higher ground, and eventually they'll just come back for the chickens. And yeah, something, as I said a couple weeks ago, did get to the farm flock. I'm assuming a hawk, but I can also likely be wrong with that one. It was probably something mid-sized. Definitely not a coyote. There would be no feathers. Definitely not a fox either. Probably like maybe possibly even like someone's dog or cat, but I doubt it, because it would make a little bit more of a racket, and there would be something more left behind. Maybe even my cat, possibly, but that's probably not likely. My cat is not the type of cat to really attack things unless my cat really needs to, which brings me to my next point. I actually use my cat to help defend against the chickens and also create more of a sustainable environment around here. Now, the reason why having a little bit of like an indoor-outdoor cat can be really useful for chickens, they don't usually attack chickens unless they're like really tiny, or they like actually visually and like not visually try to attack them, like actually try to attack the cat, like Falcon. Then there's a good chance that the cat will likely jump back and will mark that rooster or hen on its list of, on its little list of, it's going to on its little list of to this little striking list where it's going to go back later and then like get that little chicken or duck or whatever tried to make fun of it or poke fun at it or actually try to like attack it. So far, the chickens, even my rooster's been scared of it. My rooster Waldo has only had one encounter, and they didn't really attack each other. So that right there was something that I respect that rooster for. Waldo, I don't know if you guys heard about him. I'm pretty sure you guys did, because most of the people that come to my streams have heard about my roosters and Waldo and his little backstory, and he passed away this summer because of a coyote attack. But one thing I'll say for certain about Waldo was that he did his job and he didn't disrespect a lot. He would poke fun, obviously. He loves poking fun. He loved to poke fun at people, and anyone that appeared to be on the weaker side, he would love to target. It's something that a lot of roosters do. And yeah, I'll just say that a lot of roosters love targeting people that they think or assume are weak. That's just about all I have. 40-minute mark, about to be reached in about 30 seconds or less. So I just figured I'd say thank you guys so much for stopping by this quick little stream. It's more of a pop-up. Expect some pop-ups every now and then, and maybe, just maybe, I could do another pop-up eventually. I just want to say thank you guys so much for stopping by. I am out of here in 3, 2, 1, now.